Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oli. If this is your first time, then welcome, and if it's not, then welcome back. And if it is your first time, then I usually make videos about sort of holistic health and with a focus on eczema and healing your skin from that naturally. So today's video is going to be super exciting. It's going to be reading through my test results. So in my previous video, I talked about the fact that I feel like I have kind of been sort of blindly going through this journey a little bit on my own. Amongst other things, you know, obviously the skin problem has been the sort of the focus of this channel and sort of the focus of my attention this year. There's lots of other different things which also seem to be sort of slightly problematic for myself. So things like hormones, I had some issues with that earlier, and now also to do with the gut. And I personally believe that your body is all about balance, and I think that all these signs are probably not too separated from each other. And I've watched other YouTubers and I've spoken to lots of other people, and there's a lot of science going out, particularly around gut and gut health issues. So I have pretty bad gut health, I would say. I have bloating pretty much every single day. And at first I thought that was because I was on a plant-based vegan diet, and I thought initially when I went on and I had quite bad bloating that it would go away. But it hasn't gone away. If anything, it's gotten worse. And it's not just the fact that it's, you know, kind of annoying when you're in your clothes and it feels a bit uncomfortable, but also it can be extremely painful. And you know, more and more there's loads of research coming out about the fact that the gut is pretty much the center of everything. So, you know, it can be anything from mental health issues to skin problems to anxiety and things like that. So in terms of symptoms that I have, it is mostly just the fact that I have quite bad, you know, get quite bad abdominal pains, and obviously the eczema is quite a big one. So I decided I would actually just go and get some tests done. So that's what I've done. I went to a gastroenterologist, a specialist, and if I'm totally honest, I was a little bit disappointed, let's say, by the experience. So I'll kind of tell you a little bit about what happened. So first of all, I went there and told her about everything. So, you know, all the different symptoms and the skin issues and these kind of things. And she said, okay, great, let's do some tests. So I got some tests done. So I got tested for something called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which is basically when there's an overgrowth in your small intestine where there's not supposed to be any bacteria really. I also got tested for fructose intolerance. So fructose is the sugar in fruit. I also was tested for lactose intolerance, which is the sugar in milk and dairy products. I also was given an allergy test because she told me if I have lots of allergies, which I don't have a lot of allergies. I have a few things. I mean, I get a lot of really bad hay fever. So pollen allergies, tree allergies, grass, these kinds of things. In terms of food allergies, I don't really have that many. I have just one that I can think of severely, which is macadamia nuts. Sometimes if I even have something that's touched a macadamia nut, my throat starts to close. I used to be quite severely allergic to apples, and sometimes they do certain skins of certain fruits make my lips itch. She basically told me that this can be like an oral allergy, she said. So if there's an allergic reaction in the mouth, well, she said there was quite a strong likelihood that there was also allergic reactions or inflammatory reactions going on once you'd ingested these things. So got all these things tested, and to do the actual intolerance tests, it's the most annoying process, because basically the day before you have to follow something called a white diet. And all you can eat is white rice, chicken with nothing on it, plain white fish, 2 eggs, but no more, white bread. And I think that is pretty much it. You can have barely any oils or fats or anything like that. And let me tell you, by the end of the day, I just eat like loads of white bread because you're so unsatisfied with everything. And then you fast for 12 hours. And then you basically do a breath test, and you do that breath test and it basically just measures the amount of hydrogen that your breath is producing. Anyway, so I did that 3 times for the 3 different tests, the SIBO, the fructose and the lactose. Results have come back and they are all negative, which if I'm honest, I'm not surprised with. I was a little bit like, I kind of know that I'm not intolerant to any of these things. I think if I had been, it would be a bit easier to identify something like that. Anyway, and then after that, I did a blood test to check the different allergies and allergens. So I've got the results here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really surprised by some of them. Apparently I'm super allergic to the common silver birch. I have a 5 out of 6 allergy score for that one. Things like Bermuda grass, cat dander. What are these plants? These crazy plants, never heard of them before. And I have no food allergies apparently, except for hazelnut, which is like the one nut which I kind of feel like I'm kind of fine with. So that was weird. And then I had, yeah, so nothing else. She tests for all the different types of nuts, lots of different types of food. Macadamia nut is fine, naught. So I don't know, I question the accuracy of these. I mean, it's, the blood test is there and those are the results, so I'm not going to deny that those are the results. Maybe I do have minor allergies, but I was really surprised that the macadamia nut, for example, came back at naught, because that is one that I know for a fact. I literally can't even touch something that's touched a macadamia nut. Like, I'm really allergic to that. But anyway, so when I went back for the second consultation and everything had come back negative, I was kind of hoping for, okay, so everything's negative, what's the next step sort of thing. But that's not really the answer I got. I got more of an answer of, okay, well, everything's negative, so there's not really much we can do right now. And I was a bit like, okay. She basically just said, you know, go do the FODMAP diet. We can put you in touch with a dietitian who can show you how to do that. Maybe take a probiotic, which is kind of an annoying answer. It felt very much, you know, when people feel very fobbed off. And she was a very nice lady. She's a really nice doctor. There's nothing against her, but I did actually bring up, maybe there's a way we can do a metabolites test or do the organic acids test, which is something that tests how the different metabolites you excrete, and that looks at if you have sensitivities to things like oxalates, histamines, and these kind of things. She sort of humoured me for a bit, so I sat there and I was like, explaining to her what it was, and I think she said, yeah, like, you can do the test, but I'm not going to be the one to recommend you to do it. It was very reminiscent of when I used to go into the doctors with eczema. They just sort of, they didn't know how to deal with it, didn't really know what it was. They just give you a steroid cream, and if you try to explain and try to say, oh, well, I've read this or done this, I find a lot of doctors kind of shut down and they get almost a bit irritated when you say that you've done your own research, which I don't really know why. I mean, some are more sympathetic than others. I also feel a little bit sometimes, you know, does she think that I'm making it up my head? I have video evidence of the fact that I'm not making this up. I'm going to put it up here. Hey.
Hello.
Ah, you're on camera. You've got a good shot of this. Her name is going to be Apple.
You must be sticking it out.
I'm not. Okay, if I'm holding it in.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
I know, right? I should join like food baby yoga course. So yeah, as you can see, definitely not making it up. I am literally sometimes pregnant when I come home. When somebody goes in and has a bit of a difficult issue, and especially when it's something to do with your stomach, and there is a lot of science that we don't know there, so I can't be cross at her about it because she is a doctor, and we have to remember that doctors are brokers of medical information, and something can't be called medical information until there has been reams and reams and reams of evidence backing this. So she has the tests that she can prescribe that is, you know, limited to the parameters of the Western medical practice. So it's nothing against her, but it's also really frustrating for someone who's in a position like myself. And now I was a bit like, okay, where do I go from here? She did recommend a type of probiotic called Symprove, which is, there's loads of sort of press around it at the moment in the UK, but it's very expensive. So I haven't been able to purchase that yet. I think that comes out of my next month's paycheck. But that, I think, is something I probably will try, because I wasn't sure if I should now go off and try and do one of these organic acid tests myself. I think I will at some point, but I have budget constraints, and at the moment it's either I go for the probiotic or I go try for the test, and I think I would rather try the probiotic first. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and if it does work, that's great. So that's where we are with that. I suppose the health and skin/gut saga continues. It'll be interesting to see if this 12-week Symprove program actually works. I won't start that till September though, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, if you liked this video, if you have any similar experiences, then please let me know. Do you guys have gut issues, tummy issues? Is this just me? Let me know. I'm really interested to hear. In the meantime, I hope you're all doing very, very well, and I hope you're all enjoying your summer wherever you are, and I'll check back in with you guys very, very soon. Bye.